Okay, we have a question here on menopause. And no, men, this helps everyone, not just women. If the women are going through this, so are the men.
Right.
The question comes from Elizabeth, and she says, menopause, help. Wondering for all women entering it, and also myself personally, what to do to manage it on all levels.
Okay, let's see what Jesus says. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. When you are going through a body-related, age-related thing, so for example, puberty would be the opposite end of that spectrum. If you look at an 11 or a 12-year-old boy or girl, they are going to have very, very intense physical responses to the hormones that are now being released. And of course, you are fully accepting of that process. It's a physiological process. So it is associated with the body. It is associated with the egoic consciousness. So this is something that is going to, we'll say, bring up some reactions in some of you. Anything that is what we will say instinctive or seems to be out of your control physiologically is to do with the egoic consciousness. In your society, you have very, very strong programs about menopause. Everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows, menopause, there is that negative association with it. And that is one of the biggest influences that will change your experience of menopause. Now, those of you that are going through it or approaching it are going to immediately have a reaction. Oh, no, this has got nothing to do with mind. This is my body doing this. But what we want you to understand is that females in other societies do not go through the same problematic physical symptoms as Western women, because their culture has a different story about menopause. It has a different story about aging. It has a different story about the value of a mature woman. So that is the place that we want to start the answer to this question. Is the mind that is telling that story? And those kinds of stories are pervasive throughout your society. So, for example, you witness how older people aren't valued. You witness how older people are put away to pasture, let us say, in the Western culture. Now, this is not the same for all cultures. Some Latin cultures have a different relationship with old age than some, let's say, North American or British cultures. But we want you to understand that the way you think about menopause is the first place to start. When you are in a society that says that the matriarch of the family is one of the most valued members, in actual fact, those women will not have negative menopausal symptoms. They will, in fact, feel better as they head towards that which is revered, which is the mature, wise matriarch of the tribe. So the first thing we want you to look at as you are approaching or experiencing this are your beliefs about womanhood, disempowerment as it relates to womanhood. Do you see yourself as less influential? And we're not talking here necessarily about the job or the appearance on the outside, but is there something in you that is deferential to the masculine, let us say, that says, oh, I can't do that because I am female. I can't do that because my husband would get upset with me. That would be a female disempowerment mental structure where you are limiting yourself because of the quote unquote consequences that you might or that you believe you might experience. So the first thing for the Western woman to look at is, Judgments about aging. Do you believe that you become more valuable and wise as you get older? Do you see that the mature years are valuable years? Or do you look at your value directly related to youth, fertility, sexuality? That would be the fundamental place to start. The second place to start is looking at how natural your life is. We talk about this all the time. Are you going barefoot on the earth? Are you picking fresh berries from your garden? Are you outside several hours a day? Or are you always in rubber-soled shoes? Are you always inside? Are you always on your computer or on some device? The natural world, and we mean dirt and plants and birds and sun and wind, they are naturally recalibrating you all the time. So when you are not doing those things, your body is going to struggle because you are designed physiologically to do those things, to grow some food, to hang out in the hammock and watch the hummingbirds. You are designed to do those things, and that's why those things feel good to you. One of the reasons you don't do them is because you're conditioned out of them. The training program tells you, oh, I've got to be productive. I better go inside and do some work. We want you to understand that your physiological health is a multifaceted thing, and it has to do with your conditioning programs. It has to do with your natural way of being as a human. Humans are designed to move, to walk, to forage, to be outside. And so you can see that the modern Western world is not that. So you have to do your very best to include some of those things to the best of your ability. Obviously, you're not a hunter-gatherer. You're not able to do those things as much as perhaps would benefit you. But those are important things. And of course, the other thing is your food supply. Our dear one was contemplating this today, the idea that we do mention food and that this is not something that the pure non-dualistic teachers would ever say, but we want you to understand that this ministry is designed to help you live and evolve and transform above and beyond your conditioning programs. And food is one of the great conditioning programs of your society. Back in the day, 2,000 or 3,000 years ago, it was much less dangerous. It was not weaponized in the same way. There was not so much need to worry about it. But of course, as your toxins increase and as the food system produces more and more and more food that is not food, it's something we want you to be aware of. So whole foods. Don't drink juices, have the fruit. Don't eat mass-produced meats from factory farms. Go to a local butcher whose lamb is grown locally. So you know where it's coming from. These whole food, ethically grown foods, not because food is the most important thing. It is not the most important thing. Your beliefs and thoughts about menopause are in fact the most important thing. So change your mind about aging, change your mind about the feminine, the matriarch, the wisdom of age, change your mind about how you view your value. And those things will assist tremendously in reducing the symptoms of the Western female. Not every society has the same issues that you have.